Good afternoon. It's just gone after 5 o'clock GMT, and we have a match in the round 2 of the Cowboy World Championships, VP4 Cowboy World Championships. I'm not explaining the rules, I've already done that in the first video. If you're not sure, go look at it. And the match we're going to be watching is josemacuen against bakermaker. They will be up and running, they will have started. They'll be in the first rack and we will join them. And I'm just going to change the cloth. Miscellaneous. Blue. And I'll also check my lines in case we need them. They're working. Now the significance of this match, I'll show you in a sec. This is a round 2 match. There it is there, Jose against bakermaker. And the significance of that is that the winner of that match, I'm lying in wait for them. And well, we don't have to play that until second last day in December. So whoever wins this match is going to play 9ball.com. Well, some of the matches, I mean, I played a four rack match in my first round match, and that lasted 2¼ hours, and that was actually quite quick. If you look at the other one, we had a match between Vinces and Wanwa, and Vinces won that 3-0, and he won it probably just on in 90 minutes. Now, this match here, bakermaker's going to be the favourite. The numbers suggest that. Jose, a bit like myself, generally plays Cowboy for fun, usually in doubles. He doesn't make a point of playing Cowboy regularly. Bakermaker seems to be the more experienced player in Cowboy, and he's certainly going to be dangerous. But the most important thing about Cowboy is you have to score when you get in. And Jose, over the years, he can make silly mistakes. I've seen him do it. Yes, it is tight pockets, yeah. Not very tight, but tight enough that if you send him offline, they're going to rattle and hang up. Yeah, Jose is a bit hot and cold, I'll say that. But he can put a run together. And there's no doubt that he can do that. Now, Romario should know by now that I don't answer PMs when I'm streaming. If he wants to ask something, he'll come in and ask. But as I say, Jose really needs to put some scores together if he's going to put some pressure on bakermaker. And a bit like myself, probably the biggest problem for Jose is maybe not as much knowledgeable about certain angles as a lot of players who have played this a lot more. That's probably my biggest downfall, is actually maybe not reading certain angles. Now, the one thing to mention while I'm here, this match started a few minutes ago, excuse me, and well, if it lasts any more than 3 hours, there could be a problem, and I'll tell you why. At 8 PM my time, I need to be in bed because I've got to get up at 2 AM to go to work. Busy Christmas period, so mind you, having said that though, last night I never slept a wink. I went to bed at 10 minutes to 8, and I don't think I slept one single wink all night. I've been feeling terrible all day because of that, and hopefully I can drop off tonight. And hopefully this match doesn't help me drop off. But early on, we've got bakermaker putting something together here. His run goes to 20. well, 23. It's always about leaving that next shot. If you can leave that next shot, you'll put a run together. And then, of course, the other fatal mistake is don't scratch. All your hard work goes straight into the bin. You lose all your points at that visit. But this is the kind of thing that Bakermaker can do. And Jose needs to try and match that, and he needs to score. He can't have all this stop-start if he's going to make it. Well, see, the other thing is force follow. That's the other problem. The other type of shots I have a problem with. Excuse me. When they're slightly offline, which is the perfect way to play the force follow, I'm usually fine. But when there's a bit more angle, and you can there's still the possibility of a force follow, that's where I'm totally lost. I would either get it or be a mile off it. The other thing a lot of players do, and we've seen that already in the tournament, is a lot of players don't like using the rails. I've got no problem using the rails as and when I need to, but a lot of players prefer to try and draw to balls, and I don't think that's going to win you anything in the long run. If you watch the way Vinces played the other night there, he was fast and furious. He had a tremendous finish against Wanwa. He had a final run of 30, which of course included caroms all the way from 90 to 100 and then the scratch. I mean, that was a solid finish. So already he's put his name in the hat as a very strong contender for this tournament as well. Now, I was too busy rabbiting there. I never saw Bakermaker finishing his run, but he's got 35 on the board. Jose's back at the table and has to... the goal every time you come to the table, this is always my goal. When you have a deficit like that, it's only a deficit of 6 at the moment. You want to make sure that you're leaving the table with a positive score. Now already there, Jose, I think that's not going to count. Yep, he's missed the carom to the 1. So again, a visit of 13 isn't going to win you anything. Your goal should always be to make up the deficit and get yourself into the lead. And then, of course, get yourself to 90. Now, there's a bonus. Bakermaker, loads of top spin, spun the cue ball into the pocket, the scratch. And Jose's at the table. The immediate problem is the 1 isn't really in play where it is. He needs to somehow get a carom onto that to get it out, or finish on the rail to be able to pot it. He needs to get it in play. Now it's a thin carom from the 5 to the 3. And if he hits this half ball on the left side, he can leave himself a pot in the 1 like that. Well, I think that is still a tough cut down the rail. He's not so keen on it. Yeah, well, the other common mistake in Cowboy is always playing either from the 5 to the 3 or the 5 to the 1 from the middle of the table on the left or right hand side, and you make the carom to either ball and you hit it too hard, and then you hit the object ball half ball and you end up scratching. That's the most common error, probably, above all in Cowboy, is just over hitting a shot and getting that half ball hit, and you're always going to scratch in a corner pocket. The odds in that happening are very high. And if you can avoid playing that shot, you'll get on a lot better. You'll keep your score. So this time, Jose at the table. The carom from the 3 to the 1. He can go off the rail in behind the 1, or he can hit it direct. Yeah, visualisation of shots is probably one of the most important aspects of any billiard game. Being able to see your next shot and where you want to try and put that cue ball. In Cowboy, it's always about, first of all, remembering what end of the table you're looking from, because you turn around the table and you forget whether you're at the kitchen end or the top end. And then also the other one is to make sure that a ball is going to respot prior to you actually potting it, because if you pot it, you would immediately narrow down your chances of your next shot. And I must admit, I make those mistakes all the time. And then the other big error, of course, is not getting to 90 evenly. Well, I try not to move an awful lot, which is not a good thing for me, because I'm trying to read angles that guys are trying to play, but I try not to move an awful lot so it doesn't irritate people. But I mean, most of the time here you're looking at fairly standard shots that you don't really need to look behind them, because you know exactly what they're going to play. Well, Jose has got himself into a lead, but Bakermaker back at the table. Now, if this stays neck and neck to the caroms, then it's anybody's game, because Jose can still make caroms. Well, that's corner hook, so all he can play is the one ball. Needs to watch the scratch in that top right hand corner. If he plays that too hard, well, he's missed a cut. And again, you've got to get those to apply pressure to your opponent. You have to pot those. Now, can he get that thin enough to come off the end rail with a bit of inside left just to kick in behind the three? That's what he's looking for. And he's just not, he's got the 5 ball too thick there. If he'd got it thinner, he'd have been okay. Yeah, Cowboy's a good game. Brings in lots of different aspects of your pool game. But the excitement really starts once the players get to 90. That's where the real skill comes in. Well, Jose back at the table, and he really wants to. Now, the thing is, if he just rolls to the right rail here, like that, he's got a carom from the 3 to the 5. Now that shows you he's thinking, because that's what you've always got to do. You've got to think exactly what the simplest shot is to give you your next shot. And now, the little cut on that 1, is that going to spot though? Let's have a look. It won't matter because the 3 and 5, the 3's blocking the spot, but that's fine. He'll probably nudge them right now if he plays this. Well, now he's got a problem. If he'd hit the 3, it might have been a bit better, because now he's got a difficult carom to read. Now you can go off the side rail onto the 3. It's all about picking that hit angle on the 5, and he's just misjudged it. And the run again is only 14, and he has to be scoring into the 20s and 30s. It's the only way you can add pressure to your opponent. And Bakermaker may well come into his own once they get to the caroms as well. Now, is that little bit of right English done him the favour there? There are occasions in Cowboy where you can really get dirty with the 3 foul rule. And it all depends on whether the balls end up in the kitchen. You can really get nasty. And I can assure you, if I get the chance of that in the tournament, I'll be doing it. There is no hold bars, no Mr. Nice Guy when it comes to playing in the tournament. So Bakermaker now on a run of 21. And I mean, even already Bakermaker's visits are generally scoring more than Jose. And his goal now is to try and get to 90. And if he can get there, he'll be the favourite to win this first rack. Well, the other aspect of the end part of the game is if you're sitting in, 95 and your opponent's sitting in 100, waiting in that final scratch, it's all about trying to protect the one ball, score if you can, and if you're sure that you can get a score and score a carom. If you can't, try and keep that one ball safe or in as awkward a position as you can. Sometimes you've also got to be tactful when it comes to a ball hanging over the pocket, because obviously that acts as a blocking ball, but it also narrows down your chances of making caroms. So sometimes you've got to bite the bullet and actually play a deliberate foul and pot the ball that's blocking a pocket to get it back into play. So Bakermaker on a nice little run of 39 now. And he's overcut the 5. So the run comes to an end, but that now means that Jose has to respond. A run of 10 or 12 or 13 here is no good. He has to be scoring. Well, a simple roll-in pot and the one in the middle. Now, depends what angle he's got. Well, he's looking to play the 3 and just come. Well, he wants to get that cue ball into the table. That's just a bit awkward. He really wanted to get that cue ball there to make this carom simpler. He's now going to have to dig into this, and this is always dangerous like that, where he's now missed a carom. And that was just a simple shot where he's rolled that in dead weight. The cue ball's finished there, which is really no good. You've got to get the cue ball out there so that the carom's much easier like that. And again, that's the sort of little errors that Jose does. And that's why it's costing him points. Again, the visit gets nothing. And now Bakermaker into the caroms. And now it's about trying to keep the balls in play, set up your next one. He's got a nice little force follow onto the 1, but the 5 ball's going to be going away. Now he can play a draw from the 5 to the 1. He can play a draw from the 1 to the 5. He has choices, and the 1 is going to go and play to the 3. And this has got to be played carefully, because the carom angle might be sending that 1 ball towards the left hand corner, and he's playing it nice and gentle. Well, now the 3 rail shot is on. He might be looking at a draw from the 1 to the 3, but he can play a 2-in-1 3-rail shot from the 5 to the 3, but there's always a danger of scratching playing that one. And he's decided, rather than doing that, he's just going to play a nothing shot, leave it up to Jose and not risk losing his points. And that's using your head again. Don't do anything silly, don't take risks, protect your points, get the points on the board, and leave it up to your opponent to respond. And that cue ball, once again, that cue ball, if it had finished here, he would have been fine. He's now got one of these awkward caroms again. It's another stunt. He looks as if he's playing a draw. Yeah, that's where Jose's missing out. He's just not getting the cue ball where it should be to make that next carom easy. And when you come up against players like Bakermaker, you're going to be found out. So another point on the board for Bakermaker, and right on this visit here, Jose simply has to get to 90. The problem is though, does that 3-ball go past the 5? Ah, you can cheat that in if he just rolls it gentle. If it doesn't go in, it's going to be hanging over the pocket, and it's not there as a carom for Bakermaker. But he doesn't want to try cheating the pocket by the look of it. I don't know whether the force follows on because it looks too tight. Yeah. Well, the force follow. Well, there was a choice of a force follow to the 1, but again, it's whatever's simpler and easier for you. Yeah, pocket speed would have either let the ball drop in or at least left it hanging over the pocket. So now Bakermaker looking for the scratch. I don't know whether that cue ball's too close to the table to be able to, the rail to be able to dig into it. Yep, he's played the stunt. Well, that first rack, if anybody's interested, was less than 25 minutes. And, well, Jose has made too many errors and not scored enough on his visits, and that's the reason the scoreline's 1-0 to Bakermaker. Bakermaker under no pressure. And Jose straight away has played into Bakermaker's hands. He's missed not only the pot and the 3, but he's missed getting himself out of a hole by getting a carom. And Bakermaker is off and running again. And now an open table. He potted the 3-ball, caromed the 1, and the table is open for a pot or a carom. Now he's hit that too hard, because he's now, well, that might be going okay. I think he's okay. It needs to be gentle. That's always risky, hitting them hard. Well, Jose has just got to hope that Bakermaker gets too loose and starts making mistakes, but he can't rely on that. He has to make his own luck in this match. And Bakermaker's visit goes to 20. Easy carom from the 5 to the 1. Well, now I think he's blocked himself out. Now that's where things can go wrong. He's now got a little awkward pot into the middle, and that's how the run comes to an end. It's just so easy to get out of line or block yourself off in a shot. So the run ends on 26. Again, get that cue ball off the left side rail and into the table. Let's have a look at that. He's okay. Oh dear, you cannot be missing them. If anything, stun it onto it to make sure you're going to hit it. So again, Jose's visit has just ended on 11. And Bakermaker has come up blank. One of the many thousands who play Virtual Pool 4 and have never ever played online. The biggest shock you'll get playing online is the fact that you're not playing against dumb AI. You're either going to be playing AI players who won't miss a ball, or they will do everything stupid. But when you play online, you're playing real people, and you're playing a lot of players that are pretty good at the game. So when you do play online, though, you can set a room, provided you're not just a gratis player where you're limited by what you can do. But if you're a fully registered player, that allows you to set a room, whatever room you want, whatever table you want, and also it allows you to limit who can enter your room, and you do that by choosing a rating level. If you come online for the first time, you don't want to be playing champion level. They'll skin you alive. You got to start off nice and easy. Force swallow this time from the 5 to the 3. Well, now he's out of line. Run goes to 23, but he's got no great shot here. This is a tough one ball if he's going to cut it. Well, if you've bought the offline version, you have $1,000 V in your account when you register online, and you'll have a full. You should have a full year subscription with that as well, unless it expires when you bought the game. I can't remember. So Jose gets the pot in the 1. That's a good shot. Pressure was on, and he's missed the carom to the 5. So he's only got the 6-point lead. He's left an easy starter for Bakermaker, trying to get the carom to the 3, but has a simple one from the 1 to the 5. And now he can get the 5 on the spot, but he's a bit straight on this 5. You're going to have to either leave the cue ball there and try and play the little, it looks as if it might be just the thin edge to get that carom to the 1. And this time the 5 to the 3. So keeping that cue ball in the right place And now he's got to drop the 5 in, come back across to the right, and he can leave the 5 1 carom. Oh, he might be the underside of the 5. Yes, it's going to have to be the 5 to the 3. And now Bakermaker's in a similar situation to Jose. He's got no simple pot here, but doesn't hesitate. Straight in on that 5 ball. It's a good shot. The run goes to 25 and the lead is building up. Well, this looks simple, but he has to stay over on the right hand side here. Anywhere over on the right hand side of the table to give him that carom. And he doesn't want to be too careless with this, because he can easily brush past that one and miss it. So we've seen already Bakermaker is making the more substantial visits when he gets to the table. The run goes to 35. No, I've got the VP4 HUD, no problem. Well, what you need to do is you need to go into, I'll show you, go into settings. I think it's miscellaneous, and double check what your HUD status is. As I'm on full HUD. And if that doesn't work, then you maybe have to shut down the game and restart it. So Bakermaker now on a run of 46. What the hell happened here? Oh, maybe he was in a carom. Well, either way, the run... Oh no, his run came to an end earlier than that. I missed it because I was in the menu there. Anyway, Bakermaker with a 21-point lead. Ah, right. You weren't central on the actual screen. Well, the obvious shot here is cut the one not too hard and get that cue ball over to the left. Oh, he's overcut it. He's overcut it. And again, Jose hasn't made up the deficit. Well, he doesn't like the thin cut in the one. Playing the 3 ball, needs to get the top side of that 3 ball if he can, which he has done. And now, well, unless he plays something crazy here and misses the one, and he has missed it. He was trying to be careful not to skim past the one. So the visit ends on 10. Jose has a chance to get back in this rack. And now easy one from the 1 to the 5. Got to keep a ball in play though. Give him a pot in his next shot. And it's going to be the 1. Now I'd be playing this shot with a bit of top, just to try and get the top side of the 3 again. Well, he's looking at the 5. See, that again was not ideal. It's not a great position to play a carom had he potted that 5. Anywhere beyond the 3 would have given him a much better opportunity. So once again, Jose's chasing his tail, and Bakermaker should be on or into the caroms by the end of this visit. Now he's still got the open table, and this is where it's slightly awkward. He doesn't want to block the 1 ball, and he has. I don't think he can see enough of that to pot it. Let's have a look. Well, maybe I think he can. Well, he's playing a carom when it should have been a pot. So Bakermaker's took his eye off the shot there. Played a carom instead of the potting the 1. And I think he could see enough of it to actually pot that 1 there. But I think Jose's left himself too much to do again in this rack. Well, again, I'd be potting the 1 ball, because then you know you've got a simple carom from the 5 to the 3. Bakermaker choosing to pot the 3, and now he's left himself not a guaranteed carom here. There's big distance between the 2 balls. Now, can Jose keep himself in play here and make something in this second rack? And of course, the other thing is Jose might be playing the game at Bakermaker's speed. He maybe wants to slow down a little bit, just think a wee bit more about his shots. But again, he's going to have to pull out a good one here to get the carom over to that 1 ball. Just clipped the edge, avoided the scratch. Run goes to 21. And the only hope in this rack here really is that Jose gets to 90 before Bakermaker does. It will give him a fighting chance. And he's drawn into that too much. Had to be the stun. Got too much in the bottom of the cue ball there, and he's just drawn it to the rail, and he's killed his chances there and given it back to Bakermaker. And Bakermaker with the pot and the 1 ball will be into the caroms. Well, this one he can go off the top rail into the 3, or if he can get it, that's a good shot. Where's the cue? But the 1 ball going, well, the 1 ball's now dead. So that's narrowed down Bakermaker's chances in making a run of caroms here. Well, Jose wants to be playing the 3 on to the 1, get that 1 ball in play. I mean, the obvious thing is he can leave it there, but how long do you want to leave it there? He's probably better getting into play straight away. And he's missed the 5. I think he'd have been better rolling the 3 onto the 1, get the 1 into the game, give himself the chance to put a little run of score together, get to 90. Well, this time Bakermaker's cross bank to 3 in error. Surely now pot the 1. Anywhere out to that near the 3 ball will give him a carom from the 1 to the 5, but he's letting the cue ball run for no reason, and that's just asking for trouble. Now he has to be gentle. And now he's into the caroms. 5 to the 1. Gentle one from the 5 to the 1. Well, he's going from the 1 to the 5. Well, the 1 ball's now in a dangerous place. He could play the 3 rail here from the 3 on the left hand side, and he's decided just to keep it safe, but he's left Bakermaker an easy starter. Now Bakermaker, I don't know whether he can get that 3 ball thin enough. Well, he's trying to go off the side rail. He wasn't far off it though. Well, there's not a difficult carom from the 5 to the 1 here. Is that going to spin into it? Oh, that was unlucky. A good effort, but not quite there. Scores are tied at 93 all. 1 rack to 0 for Bakermaker in this race to 3. Well, he can play the 2 or 3 railer again here from the 1 up to the 3. Is that going to be too close to the diamond? Yep. Missed the angle. Well, if he goes thin off the 5, there's always the danger of the scratch here. He's got the 5 too thick. Had a bit of inside on it to try and make the kick onto the 1. Well, that's now got the 3 into play. Now, how does this look from this end? Well, onto the 5 right hand edge, or onto the left edge and off the end rail. He can go side rail or end rail to make the carom to the 1. He looks as if he's going right side. Oh, that was dangerous, but he's still okay. Now, if he plays the pace right on this, he should leave himself a carom from the 1 to the 3, as long as he makes the hit on the 5 here off this 1. What's he doing? Oh, I don't know why he's doing that. I mean, why he didn't want to play the 1 to the 5 is beyond me. It's a strange shot, Jose. I don't know why he didn't want to play it. And that was unlucky, because that cue ball was heading towards the 5 there. Choice of shots here, left or right side of that 3. Can make the carom to the 1 or the carom to the 5. He's gone behind it. Well, Jose's now got a Christmas present here. He's on 96. He's got an easy starter. But can he keep these in close proximity to try and get a 2 or 3 run, which is really what he needs? Well, thin edge off the 5, anywhere down that right hand side of the table. He'd be really unlucky if he doesn't make a hit in either of those 2 balls. He has to get this fairly thin though. Missed the knuckle. Oh dear. Now, can Bakermaker play the force follow in the 3 and run off the end rail onto that 5? No, he can try and get it direct, just misjudged the line. Once again, a fairly straightforward starter here for Jose on 97, a 2-point lead. Avoided the scratch, and he has another carom set up. Doesn't want to hit this hard. And now again another simple one from the 3 to the 1, with maybe a little bit of help in right English to take him to 100. If he gets lucky, he'll knock that one into play for the outshot. Let's have a look. Well, I think the problem with this shot is I don't think he can avoid the 1 when he's trying to run through to make the in-off, make the scratch in that opposite pocket as we look. I don't think he can avoid it. He'll probably run into the 1. Well, he's looking to try and draw it in to the opposite pocket. Once again, has to avoid hitting it. Well, the 1's helped it there, and I don't know whether is that going to be legal? Yes, it is. Well, he only hit the 1 ball, he didn't hit another ball. Had that hit another ball, it wouldn't have been a legal shot. But that now means that we are all square. And that's 50 minutes played, or just over 50. And we've had 2 racks played, and Jose is in the game. And like I said earlier, Jose, well, his visits have been very disjointed. He's not been scoring enough, and if he can up the scoring level, he'll put Bakermaker under more pressure. But the first objective has been done there by Jose. Get himself back at level terms. Like I say, Jose's always going to be dangerous when he gets into those caroms. It's going to have to be a good shot here. Now, can he pot that 5 off the knuckle? And it's just dropped in. Pocket weight, no more did that. And of course, the 5 isn't going to spot because the 3's blocking the spot. And now he's got a difficult carom trying to draw to the 3. He's managed to do that. He's cleared up the 5 spot. And now he's got a straight in 5 ball to follow. Oh dear. Well, that was maybe a bit rushed. Bakermaker's visit ends on 24. And like I said earlier, Bakermaker, having won that first rack fairly easily, doesn't want to start getting a bit loose. If he starts getting a bit loose and making errors, he's going to give Jose all the encouragement he needs. A little delicate thin edge on the 5 to get it to drop in. Yeah, got to be a delicate thin edge, not a slam. And the same old story, Jose's visit ends on just 2 points. Well, is this going to be a rerun of the first rack of the match? Well, the 2 caroms are made there, the pot and the caroms. But, again, he's got a tough cut in the 1. These are not easy. Not easy at all. So Jose's been handed an early bonus here. Bakermaker's made nothing of that visit. He's only got 8. And Jose looking to try and do something significant here. Get himself into a good lead. That's the objective. Steady yourself. Take your time. There's no doubt Bakermaker is definitely the favourite. But once again, Jose slammed at the 3, and they're not going to go in. If you slam them offline, as soon as you hit those knuckles, they're not going to drop. It's another poor visit from Jose. And it's messy, the start of this third rack. And a 2-in-1 shot there worked for Bakermaker. Missed the carom on the 1, but got the reserve ball by hitting the 3. Well, now, provided Bakermaker doesn't scratch. Oh, well, he's missed the carom. Well, it's the 3rd chance already in this rack for Jose, and he's only got 3 points on the board. He has to be much more solid to get himself into this rack. And that's left himself awkward again. He's got no easy shot here. Can try going up and down the right hand side off this 3 ball, but not an easy carom. But he's managed to pick it out. Has he got a pot? Yes, he has. Now if he can push through clean to the side rail, he should have a carom from the 3 to the 1. Well, I don't think he thinks he can. He's looking to draw it. Get behind the 1. Now, anything but straight. And I think he's too straight. But he's got the reserve. He can dig into the 1 and stun it to the 3. And he's got a choice. Straight in 5. And he's leaving the 5-3 carom. Oh, he's missed it again. He's just put a bit of draw on that. It was just, again, use the natural angle and just stun it down. And again, the visit is only 13, and it's not really eating into the deficit. And that's really going to be the story of this match so far. Just Jose not being heavy enough in the scoring when he's had the chances. And he's had plenty of chances. And more often than not, when Bakermaker's coming to the table, he's making decent little runs, just building up that score, chasing to 90. And already the lead is 44. Little nudge to the 3. And all the balls will be in their places in a second. And that's I think that is just maybe a bit too tight. Yeah, he's trying to create an angle there to kick in behind the 3. He'd left himself too straight again. Well, Jose should be potting the 1 and getting the 1 in play. He's more, it's like a rabbit in the headlights when he sees that 5 ball. He wants to get the 5 points. And he's left himself a really, really thin edge of this 5, but it's more a follow through shot this. It's not an edge of the 5. And he's okay. And surely this time, now is that 5 blocking the 1 spot? I think it is. Yeah, it's right on the middle diamond. He can't pot the 1 because it's not going to spot. So he's got himself in trouble here. Well, that's a good recovery shot, because at least he can play the carom from the 5 to the 1. Now, if he stops the cue ball there, he's got an easy 1 to 5 carom. If he just stops it more or less where the 1 ball is, and that'll do. This is why you've just got to think about what you're doing, setting up that next shot. And now the 1 ball is out the game, lying in that rail. Well, he really again, he should be potting the 5. If you pot the 5, the cue ball's going over to the left, and it leaves you a chance of the 5-3 carom. And that will do. And now this has to be gentle. He doesn't want to hit that 3 half ball. There's a danger of the scratch. And it almost went. He got lucky. Yeah, always going to be on the cards for a scratch by playing that with too much power. Another not easy pot in the 3. And this time he's gone too far left. Going to have to dig out a good shot here. Still trailing by 20 points. The visit is on 23. Oh, he's caught the edge, but that will do. And now a chance to get the 1 on the spot. Although if he pots the 5, and again doesn't run through too far, he can leave that angle for the carom from the 5 to the 3. And that looks pretty good. He needs to again be careful with the pace here, because that cue ball can follow the 3 in. Well, this time he has to pot the 1. Pot the 1, get up the table, because it leaves him a possible. Well, that's actually not bad. He could have had the carom from the 1 to the 5. I think he's gone too far though for the 3 to the 5, so it looks like maybe 1 or 2 rails into that 5 ball if he can, and he's missed it. So the visit ends on 31, and that is Jose's highest run in this match, but he's still trailing by 12, and what will he be trailing by when he gets back to the table? Open table for Bakermaker after the pot and the carom. So he's dropping over to the left. If he just drops the 5 ball in, he should have a carom from the 1 to the 5. He likes the 3 ball better. He's a bit straight on it though. And that's not a bad shot. It's got the cue ball into the table. Left an easy carom from the 1 to the 5. And once again, it's going to have to be a good recovery shot here. Well, he's looking at the cut in the 1. That's always dangerous. But much easier to have a go at the 3 than the 1. Well, Jose has been given another lifeline here. And I don't think that was maybe the best choice there for Bakermaker. And can Jose get rid of that deficit on this visit? Open table. Just kill the cue ball. He should have the 3-5 carom. Possibly a little force follow from the 3 onto the 5. Yep. That looks fairly straightforward. Well, he's looking to catch an edge here. Now, is the 3 going to spot? Has he looked at that? Yes, it is going to spot, so he can pot the 3. Well, he's looking at the 5, but he'd have been probably better potting the 3 because he would have a guaranteed carom next. And he's overcut the 5 again. I still say the wrong choice of shot. Having checked where the 3 ball was going to spot, it'd have been much easier to pot the 3, let the cue ball run round. He was bound to leave himself a carom in the 3-5. They were very adjacent to one another, and that's Jose blew a good chance there. So the match has been on for 1 hour and 5 minutes. We're well into rack number 3. I'll have a quick drink. This is how you like them, nice and simple. Again, well, trying to leave that 1 ball in play, but he's left himself a really thin cut in the 1 and an awkward pot in the 3. But once again, just lines it up and pots it. So, good recovery shot. Now, I think, again, he might be, is he okay to make the force follow? Yes, he is. So, Bakermaker rapidly approaching the carom stage. Moves on to 83. And that's going to make him hot favourite to win this rack and go back into the lead. Always got to keep an eye on your score and be fully aware of what you're doing. That 5 ball takes him on to 90. Well, he can risk playing the 5 to the 3 direct. He's decided that's too risky. Using the rail, the right shot That way you avoid knocking that 3 ball in. And that's a nice little shot because we've now got the balls fairly adjacent to one another. One ball's pretty close to that middle pocket, but he should be able to do the 5 to the 3. And now he's going to have to play a good one again for a recovery. And a little draw has missed. But Bakermaker's visit again is a nice little contribution of 28. Takes him into the caroms. And Jose is trailing way back in 55. Well, that's going to get the one in play now. Oh dear. Again, he's missed the carom. And it's only 11 points. And Bakermaker having to make do with just the 2 balls really at the moment. Once again, Jose really needs to get the one into the game to widen his chances here. And that will do. Maybe not. Let's have a look. Yeah, I think he's okay. He can do the little force follow to the 3. Well, got to play the pot in the 3, get it on its spot. You've got all the balls at the top end of the table. You're bound to have a carom next. He'd be extremely unfortunate not to leave himself a carom, but that is going to hang up. Sent it to the rail too soon. But the 3 ball is now out of play for Bakermaker. He's going to have to work with these 2. That was unlucky. Well, this may well be Jose's last chance to get to the caroms. Still back on 68. Well, the 5 and the 3 have both dropped. But really has to be on the caroms after this visit if he's going to put pressure on Bakermaker. If he can get that, then he's in with a strong chance, a 50-50 chance of pinching this rack if he can do it. He needs another good shot in this 3 though. Well, Vince says points will be quite high because he never won a rack. Well, in his last match, that is. I don't know who he played in his first matches, but he must have scored fairly comfortably in his first matches. I bet you my average points are probably about 2 point something. It wouldn't surprise me. Well, Jose back at the table again on 81. Well, if he draws back up the table here, he can at least leave a possible carom. Yeah, I thought that would be about right. Round about 2 or 3. Now, what's he thinking here? Well, he's looking to catch the edge of the 1 to the 5. Got to be careful of the double kiss here. And he's missed it. And he's set up a fairly straightforward starter here for bakermaker, although he's... Can he make this without actually potting the 1? Yeah, let's have a look. Yeah, I think that was what he was concerned about. I think if he'd played the natural line there, he may well have just potted the 1 to make the carom. But it's another chance for Jose. Bakermaker in his last 2 visits, I don't think he's scored. And Jose trying to get to that elusive 90. Well, he's got no shot here. Whatever he has got is tough. Got to pull out a good one here on this 1 ball. The lower he can get, the easier it will be to carom. Well, he can easily stunt. Needs to watch he doesn't pot that 5 though. He's on 87. Looking to play the 2 rail. Oh, he's got that all wrong. Oh, and this is an easy starter for bakermaker to really knock a chunk into the caroms here. And he's gathered the 5 and 3. And I would think this rack is over, because look at where the 1 is. If bakermaker can keep things fairly close, he's going to have a good chance at the outshot. Sitting in 96. Might go behind the 1 here. Well, the 1 is going to go up the table this time, so that's opening him up. But he's brushing the 5 over towards the 3. Now, let's have a look what that is. Well, I think he's going to go end rail in behind the 5. And I think the force follow to the 1. And has he got the outshot? Well, it's going to have to be the force follow on the 1 into this bottom left hand corner, or the cut to the opposite corner. Well, he's going the force follow. Yeah, got it too thick. Had to be a wee bit thinner. Now, this is where you have to get wise to the situation. Now, Jose is sitting in 87. And he has to keep that 1 safe if he can't make a carom. And, well, surely bakermaker can draw off the 1 into the corner. He can go either or. He can go across the way to the top left hand corner, or try and just draw it into the top right, and he's overdone it. And it's another lifeline for Jose. Still stuck in 87. Well, he's got to play the carom from the 5 to the 1 to get the 5 in play. The 5 stuck there's no good to him for caroms. He's going to try and stun onto it. He doesn't look as if he's stunning it. Trying to bank the 3. But all that's done is giving bakermaker a free go. If he catches the edge of the 1, he's looking to scratch in the opposite corner. Yep, that's what he's looking for. No, he's maybe had a change of mind. No. A little feather of inside left to try and straighten the angle. Always very difficult to judge them shots. You either get them spot on, or you don't get them anywhere near it. Now Jose is now on 90. He can play the carom from the 3 to the 5 and 1. That's easy enough. He surely couldn't miss those. but he's not even looking at it, because he could have the possible 2-pointer there and wasn't even thinking about it at all. Again, that's too hard. He's trying to get these balls gathered to make his life easy, and he's overhit the 5. Well, now I don't know whether he can get that 3 thin enough. Got to be careful he doesn't pot it, but he's trying to go around the angles. That's maybe going to... Yep, he has potted a 3. That was always a risk. Hit the wrong button there, guys. Again. And bakermaker... Well, that's his 3rd attempt to scratch. Jose, of course, now back on 87, having lost his points. Now, all he does now is drop the 1 in and stay in the inside the kitchen, and he should have the easy carom from the 5 to the 1. Now, if he has to get the pace in this right. He wants to send that 1 off the side rail out towards the 3. You'll see if he's actually thinking about what he's doing. Well, in fact, he had to hit it thinner than that. Well, this is going to be dangerous if he's going to stun to the 1. Sometimes you have to just take risks. You're going to try and run the rail. Yeah. So he's now into the caroms, but he's at the point of no return. Now, if you can't get the carom and you can't guarantee you're going to get it, then why not thinking about trying to push that 1 ball safe on the bottom rail? Well, that looks as if it's going to go around. Is it going to get in an edge? Yeah. Well, again, a fairly straightforward carom from the 3 to the 1 looks on the cards here. Needs to be gentle though. You don't want the 1 to be bouncing away too far, and that is nice. And now he's in business. If he can just keep himself together, he has a fighting chance. Well, things are going to be loosening up fairly rapidly here, but again, if he banks the 1 off the bottom rail, well, he's just managing to keep himself with a chance here. Has he got it? He just clipped it. Good evening. Well, I'm hoping this match finishes before 8 o'clock my time. There's about, what, 100 minutes left, because I've got to get to bed and try and actually get to sleep tonight. Up at 2 o'clock in the morning tomorrow again, and that's unlucky. Well, Jose, this is the point. All your hard work, and you're leaving bakermaker an easy out off the 1 ball. So this for 2-1. This doesn't look difficult. So in it goes. And now the match has been on for 1 hour and 20 minutes. And we've played 3 racks. And bakermaker now with a 2-rack to 1 lead. And a quick reminder that the winner of this match is going to play 9ball.com in round 3. So Jose with first visit in rack number 4, and of course it's a rack that he needs to keep himself on this side of the tourney bracket, but he got to score. I mean, Jose's longest run is only 31 in the whole of the match as far as I know, and that is not good enough to have 1 visit of just 31. You've got to score more, and that's really the one big difference? No. I most certainly won't be doing that. I'd be far too critical. And again, the same old story. The visit is only 10. And it isn't good enough, Jose. You've got to be making an impact to put pressure on your opponent. But like I say, Jose is in the same boat as a lot of players where he only ever plays Cowboy for fun. A lot of the time it's in doubles and more of a pastime than anything concentrated on becoming some sort of expert at it. But all of a sudden Bakermaker's visit is only 2. But it's the same sort of pattern sequence that we've had in the match. Even when Bakermaker doesn't score, Jose cannot respond. He cannot get himself into that comfortable lead to put pressure on. And the miss on the pot and the 3. And the easy starter for Bakermaker, the pot and the carom, and now has the open table to get things under control. Well, the 3 ball going in's a bonus. 5's now hanging over the pocket. 5 ball will now have all the balls on their spots. Now this John Norris name, I've never seen that name in a stream. Unless that's somebody that's changed their name. Who is that, I wonder? I wouldn't mind actually other folk actually streaming VP4, but nobody seems interested. Well, this is the case in point. Again, the visit, not fantastic, but it's still a visit of 24 from Bakermaker. Well, Jose, is he going to score? Is he going to be finishing this visit with a lead? Yeah, well, pot the 3 and get over to the left hand side for the easy carom. That's the solution here. Might be able to pot the 5. No. He probably could have potted the 5 there and still made the carom if he'd spun the cue ball off the rail. Well, he's got himself a lead. It's going to have to be the thin cut in the 5. The 3 ball is easier. And it goes. And that looks pretty good for the force follow. It's a bit tight, but I think he's okay. Oh, just too much angle on it. And so Jose gets his longest run of 33. It gets him a lead of, what's that, 18 points. But that may well be whittled away after this visit. And I think there's no excuses. Jose simply has to get to 90 before Bakermaker does in this rack if he's going to have a chance. Well, that's Jose's longest run. Bakermaker's made a 40, I think it was, I remember seeing a 41. Good evening. Welcome aboard. And, well, this is the type of situation that Jose would have wanted. Bakermaker's only scored whatever that was there, 8 points. And now he can build up a lead. Now, can he build up a lead? That's the question. Well, the 5 to the 1 is the simplest one. You don't have to do anything other than just get the edge and run it to the rail and onto the 1. Now pot the 5, get yourself back down the table here in this bottom half of the table, and you'll have a chance of the carom from the 5 to the 3. Well, he's trying to stay top side, and he's managed to do it. I didn't think he could hold it there, but he's pretty good. Well, now it's a little gentle cut in that 1, and if he just wants to draw back, if he actually just drags it in and comes back the way, he's still got a chance of staying the top side to leave the carom from the 1 to the 5. And now he's a bit loose. And this is dangerous, this shot. Always the half ball scratch risk, but he's hit it full in the face. And now he wants to pot that 5. And again, keeping the bottom half of the table here. He wants to draw into this just to keep this side. Oh, he's trying to drop it into the middle. You had to take that into the top corner. And the run is only 18. And the lead is 30. But he should have scored more to build up that score. I don't think there's ever a game that I've ever played in virtual pool that I've ever blowed hot and cold in as much as Cowboy. I mean, some days you can put runs together, play all the shots, and then other days you can do the same, but you keep scratching. Can't keep your points half the time. So Bakermaker knows exactly what he has to do here. He has to make a fairly decent contribution just to get him back into the rack. Well, you're going to miss these things if you don't drop into the lobby now and again. It was advertised for a couple of weeks before it started. So Bakermaker's run ends in 26. It's still trailing Jose, and Jose's got nothing easy here. He has the force follow from the 5 to the 3 at distance. Yeah, he's hit that too straight. I could see the way he was lining at that. He had to have that little tiny angle to make the force follow, and that's always the problem with longer shots to play the force follow, is reading that angle. But that's another one that's got away. And this time Bakermaker will have them all on the spots and should be in the lead. Well, he's played the big draw. Another delicate one. Played at half ball, but he's okay. So, Bakermaker into the lead, and now favourite to get to 90. But he's missed the carom. Well, this is your last chance, Jose. Surely in this rack, you've got to make a score. You cut the 5, the cue ball's going over to the left. If you roll through in the 3, or he can play a 3-5 carom pot here if he wanted. Well, he's leaving the 5-1. He has to hit this half ball on the other side of the one, if anything. He doesn't want to risk scratching. And that's worked out fine, but has he got a shot? Well, he's going to... I think the easier one is the bank on the 1, to be honest. Much better chance of that going in. Or the double bank. No, he's sent it into the knuckle. So Jose, his chance is gone again. Visit only 4, but didn't get any luck there. Well, Bakermaker again lost his focus. Played the carom when he should have played the pot. That's twice I can count in this match that he's done that. And everybody does it. You get so engrossed on lining up your shots, you forget the sequence. And it's been another lifeline for Jose. How many lifelines is he wanting in this rack? Has to get to 90. No ifs or buts. If he's not on 90 at the end of this visit, I think he can forget his chances. Well, that's a terrible shot. That is the worst shot of the day on that 5 ball. He's so busy thinking about the 1-3 carom. If he'd potted a 5, he'd blocked himself off on it anyway. So he took his eye right off the ball. And well, bakermaker, once he drops the one ball in, get down the bottom end, leave yourself that little force follow. Can you play the edge of the one and still skim the 5? He's tried the force follow. I don't know whether that hit or it didn't. Did it miss? No, he got it. Just clipped a feather edge of it. Well, Jose's got a mountain to climb now, and it might be too much to climb. Well, I don't think he's got the pace in it. And he's left Jose nothing. He's going to have a blast and try and run the cue ball. It's difficult to line up the 1-5 pot because that 5 is on the jaw more or less. Yeah, he's just trying to, well, that'll do it. Well, that's a bonus. The 5 and the 1 going in and a carom. So he's an 82. Bakermaker only 91, so there is a glimmer of hope for Jose here. And now just drag that 3 in nice and soft. That would be my plan. Try and drag over to the right and leave the carom from the 3 to the 5. Doesn't look like that's what he's playing. Nope, he's running the cue ball, and in a way that's sort of hoping, and that's nothing. That's a nothing shot. He's not left anything easy. If he'd kept it in the top half of the table there, which he could have done, he could have had an easier carom from the 3 to the 5. But he's got the 2 and 1. And now the 3 ball, again, drop it in dead weight and stay up there. That takes you to 90. Well, I don't know why he hasn't seen that shot. To me, it's the most obvious shot you do. You drop it in dead weight, spin over to the right, and you're leaving yourself a carom from the 3 to the 5. That's two times he really should have played that. And that's not going to help him. He's now into the carom, so again he's got nothing easy. He can do the 2 rail to the 1 off the 3, but it isn't a big target, and he's way offline with that. But bakermaker, I think, can get this 5 to the 3. Needs to be careful he doesn't drop the 5 into the middle pocket. Well, this rack is now in the balance. Jose's got to 90. And he's got the carom. Well, the force follows on from the 1 to the 3. He's again looking to play the draw. And I still think it was easier to play the force follow. It was more a natural force follow. And then he's blown his chance there. So the visit is just 1. Well, it's going to be a 2 and 1 shot from the 5 to the 1 or to the 3. If he'd missed the 1, if he had the pace in it, he would have hit the 3. And that's just going to get there. Once again, Bakermaker, he could go on the right, and see the shot I like to play is the inside of that 5 with right English, and punch it around the rails and get it up that way. Now he's playing the shot. Well, he's playing it to the 1. But if you play it hard enough, if you miss the 1, you're bound to hit the 3. You'd be really unlucky not to, but that still gets the job done. And Bakermaker, I don't think that's getting there. Well, Jose's got the same shot, and he has to play this shot. He's got to go from the 5 to either hit the 1 or the 3. It's the most obvious shot there is. And he's nudged that 1 down towards the 3. And he has to be gentle here and careful. Just a feather edge of that 1. Nothing more. Just brush it. And it's going to be a draw. Or is he going to go bottom rail and side rail? Or top rail and side rail as we look? How does that look from that side? Well, I think he's okay. He's going to send that to the rail. The 1's going to stay in the table. He's looking to... He doesn't trust it, but it looks a simple force follow to the 5. He's trying to go off the rail. Oh, that'll do. He got there. He's on 95. They're all square. Oh no, that was a very risky shot. Almost scratched. And he's living in a knife edge here. And he's got the carom from the 3 to the 1. He's got no other shot because he can't see the 5. This has to be gentle. Just get it so that that cue ball hits the 1 and no more. And that's what he had to do there. Now, can he bank that 1 up the table? Or just skim it so that he's banking it? Well, he's not even looking at it. But surely he can do that and just spin towards the 3. He's not... Well, I think he could have banked that off the knuckle. And to me, the shot was on. Bank that off the knuckle to wherever that's going and spin the cue ball into the 3. Well, Bakermaker has now potted the 1. Jose's got a 2-point lead, and he's going to have no better chance to tie this match up. Well, he's missed the first carom, and Bakermaker has got an easy one this time to start off. It's still anybody's game, this one now. Bakermaker going to have to make it off the side rail, and he's missed it. Well, you can try and hit the 1 direct, or you can go off the end rail in behind the 1. He's made it direct. And now, well, there's a shot there. Everybody can see that. That's your shot. Or if you get it that way. So, it depends on how much spin you get into it. But that is a shot. And that looks good. Needs to be full in the face. Well, I like this shot. I'd still be spinning that into the rail and dragging it and spinning it and stunning it into that 3, and that'll do. That's much better. He should have played that the first time round when he had that shot on the last time. Let's get this thing sorted out. Hang on, that's better. Well, Jose to square the match. Now, bakermaker needs a run of 5 to win this match, and he hasn't got anything easy to start, but he can punch the 1 around the table, draw to the 5. He's going to miss the 5. The 1 is nudged off the 3, nudged it out the way, but anyway, the 1 is scratched. So now Jose has ball in hand for the draw into either corner or a force follow into the middle, and this to tie the match up at 2 racks all. Well, I must admit I never thought this was going to happen, but it's all down to whether Jose can stay in it and get to those caroms, because scoring wise he's not been in it sufficiently most of the time. Now, what the hell's he doing here? It's a straightforward draw. Now, is Jose having a brain fart here? Well, somebody explained to me what Jose's doing there, because I think he's totally lost the plot. He has totally lost the plot with ball in hand on the 1 for a draw into the corner pocket. The 1 ball is live on its spot. The 1 ball is out of the kitchen, and for some reason Jose he cannot be aware of the fact that the 1 ball is live. It's in play. It's not in the kitchen. And he had a ball in hand, draw off the 1 to tie the match. I'll tell you something. I'm going to show Jose this video forevermore if bakermaker steals this now. Am I out of sync here? Am I out of sync? Why is Jose playing at the 3 ball? I've got to ask him. I've got to ask him. I mean, what the hell is he doing? I'm thinking I'm out of sync. Well, bakermaker, I mean, if you're ever going to punish somebody for their craziness, it's surely now. If bakermaker can pinch this match, I think Jose's reached siesta time. I mean, Spain's only an hour in front of me, so it's only 10 to 8, but I don't know what the hell's going through Jose's head, but he's definitely had a major malfunction. And now bakermaker's got the pocket blocked. No, it's no point in telling him now. I mean, that's only going to annoy him even more. But he's clearly totally forgotten that you can play the 1 with ball in hand for the scratch. And now he's opened up the table. Bakermaker's got an easy starter. And, well, he will never live this down, I can assure you. He will never live this down after doing that. Well, the one thing I always do in a game that I don't play regularly is I ask what I'm allowed to do and what I'm not allowed to do. And but I suppose that proves as well that Jose doesn't play cowboy much, but he must have had instances with ball in hand before in the kitchen. And surely, even if he'd done that before, somebody would have told him that he could play the scratch off the 1. So that there's no excuse. He's bound to have had that incident before. And now bakermaker had the chance to win the match. Now, this has got to be the thin edge and pocket weight to tie the match. It's just got to be a feather edge in this 1 ball any more, and he's going to go to the jaw. And in it goes. Well, he has escaped. shame and embarrassment after that. It's now 2 racks all, and my goodness me, well, that's the strangest phase of play I've seen, because I thought my game was out of sync. I thought I was looking at Bakermaker playing shots. I just couldn't believe it. But anyway, for some... Why is it asking me to call my shot? Oh, that's weird. No, wait a minute, the game's broke. Is it? There's something not right here. No, wait a minute, I think they need to actually... I think if this is broken... I don't know what was going on there. I think it's okay now. Well, it's getting weirder and weirder, this game. The game started asking him to... I think the game's slightly broken in that respect. If it was asking him to call his opening shot there in the start of that fifth rack. Did you see that, Tin? Well, I think that's probably the case for most people that we've never played more than one. It's mostly just single games of Cowboy, and of course that's what it is. It's only in tournament that it does this, and I think there's something slightly broken there. But Jose is more broken than the game is. I know that for a fact, because I've witnessed it. But he's still in the match. I thought we were having a Twilight Zone sequence there. There was funny things going through my head. I was thinking I was imagining things, and I'm glad I've got witnesses that proves I'm not going a bit loopy. Yeah, well that's a glitch. That's a glitch at the start of the final rack there, Tint, where it forced the player who was first at the table to call his opening shot, even though call shots aren't on. I can assure you that'll never be fixed. Not in a month of Sundays will that ever be fixed. That might be the problem. Is call shot on even though we don't use it? Hang on a sec. Let's have a look at this thing. Blah 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 blah. Where does it say it? Table this, 3 fill, jump cues. First go, call shot off. Call shot is off. So it's nothing to do with that. In fact, it's even more broken if call shot is off. And it still made him call a shot. Right, there's Jose PMing me. I'm just going to shut that down. I mean, apart from the fact he might be typing something like "I love you" or something like that. I don't want everybody else reading that. Well, we're into the final rack one way or another, and Jose on 15 points, Bakermaker on 15 points, 2 racks all. And Bakermaker was looking comfortable early on, and it would be safe to say that there's a little bit of pinch here and there now, and it's the same goal again, as long as Jose could score and keep himself in the match and get to 90 either before Bakermaker or at least not too far behind Bakermaker, because that's his only hope, because that's where it's anybody's match once you get into the caroms. Bakermaker's run is only 15. And now would be a good time for Jose to find something and get a score on the board. Well, it's going to have to be a straight in 3. Now, if this isn't dead straight, he maybe wants to just kill the cue ball to leave the 3-5. Oh dear. Again, you're missing too many of them, Jose. Got to score. It's only a visit of 5. So now Bakermaker with the open table first visit, open table second visit with the pot and the carom. Oh dear. Well, you're not going to get any more encouragement than that, Jose. Bakermaker's rattled the 3. He was trying to get greedy there. This is where you've got to take your medicine. Trying to get greedy, play the 3 and draw into the 5 to get the pot and the carom again. But Jose has got to make him pay. I mean, you've got all the encouragement you need when a player takes a liberty and tries a shot like that and hangs up the 3. You've got to punish him. If you're going to make a decent run, there's no better time than now to do it. Oh, that 3 ball wiped its feet twice. And the weight of the ball pulled it into the pocket. It's going to have to dig down in the 5 ball here to make the carom to the 3. Well, that's the most adjacent one, but he's going to be using 2 rails here, I think, to go left side. Oh, 3 rails. Oh, that's unlucky. But again, I sound like a broken record. It's only a visit of 10. But he has only a lead of 9. And Bakermaker, the favourite from the start, rating-wise, to win this match. But Jose has to apply pressure one way or another, and he can only do that by scoring when he's getting opportunities, and he hasn't done that at all throughout the match. He's been fortunate enough that Bakermaker has got himself off the boil and hasn't capitalised enough to get to 90 sooner and score the carom sooner, or he could have won this 3-0. Yeah, I'm surprised as well. I'm still surprised that Jose wasn't punished severely for that total forgetfulness on the scratch off the 1. Oh, Cowboy ratings have been broken for goodness knows how long. They've never worked right. Well, I think I'm just going to keep my mouth shut and see if Jose can put something together here. He's going to have to do something good here, though. Well, the double kiss there helped him. That was a bit lucky. But he's got the straight in 5 and the follow through to come around to the top side of that 3. That is a shot, because it gives you options. And that looks pretty good. Needs to be a feather edge again. Very fine edge. Well, this time he's picked the angle for the force follow. You've got to be brave sometimes. But now it's going to have to be the cut back. A gentle cut back. Well, that needs to keep going. That's going to hold the spot, is it? Yes, it is. Now, has he got a shot? Well, the shot would be to stun off the rail. He's tried to get lucky. I think he should have spent a bit of more time looking at that shot, because he would stunned it with a wee bit of inside. He could have probably made the carom. Maybe didn't even need any inside with the angle that he had. So Jose's lead is slender. It's only 8 points. But is this rack going to take the same pattern as the last 2 or 3, where it's sort of a few points scored, and then the race really begins once they get to the caroms? And bakermaker really, from his point of view, should realise and know that he really has to put a visit together. He's got to hold it together to get something good on the scoreboard to take him away from Jose, and then make him favourite to get to 91st. This is the times in a tournament and in a match where you have to step up to the plate. Well, he's missed the carom, and it's only 15, and it's going the very similar pattern, and it's only a lead of 4. But there's nothing easy for Jose. Well, that 3 ball could be doing with getting brought into play, and Jose's fell into the old trap again, stunning it far too heavy, and the cue ball follows into the pocket, and that's a wasted visit. And bakermaker will be able to get the 3 into play. Little pot and carom, an easy carom, or there should be, from the 1 to the 5, as long as that bounces and gets up the table. Well, this isn't ideal. With the stun and a little spin onto the rail, he'll be back in good position once he pots the 5. Well, I've got 50 minutes to go before I have to hit the sack, so hopefully these guys won't hang around. Oh dear, well, would you believe it? The old miscue and the visit has gone. Well, how much encouragement do you need, Jose? You have to make a response. and the tables could turn all on this visit here. It's going to be the long, thin edge of the 5 onto the 1. Always better to play this with a bit of inside in case you miss it on the way up. You can spin in behind it and kick it. Just a little feather edge of inside sometimes. Again, it needs to be gentle and hit that half ball on the right hand side. Well, he's hit it full in the face, but he's still got a shot in the 5. And he needs to draw off this because he doesn't want to play this a natural pot. He's in danger of running into the middle pocket. Well, I know a much better angle than I thought, so... Well, I think... How does that look? Let's have a look. Going to have to be 2 rails in behind the 1. He's missed it. And Jose, again, the same old story. The visit is only 18. It's only a slender lead of 14 points. Now, I suppose everything's on the other foot, with bakermaker being the higher rated player. Probably a player who's played this a lot more than Jose. Can he take control and charge of this final rack? Well, the answer to that is not with that shot he can't. He's missed the carom to the 5. He's let Jose in again. And this time Jose is coming to the table with a 13-point lead. Can he build on it? He's not going to be gifted any better chances than he's had in these last 2 or 3 visits here. Bakermaker has got loose and he's maybe feeling the pinch. Well, he could have played that better. He wanted to run that cue ball further up the table. But he's still okay, and he's still got a pot. And once again, with this shot, he wants to stay top side, up behind that 3, either left or right side of it if he can. Well, again, he wants to run up the table. But he's taken big risks, and he's left himself nothing. And Jose... Well, he's not getting a force follow there, because he's going to run into the 3 with a 5. But that's an example of where he's not thinking. A gentle run through to the top side of the 3, and he's given himself a chance for his next shot. Now he's having to dig stuff out, and it's putting himself under pressure. But he's managed to escape with that one. And now he should be potting the 1. And a little gentle draw back so that he doesn't block himself out when the 1 spots. And that will do nicely. And now he's on 81. And all of a sudden, as long as this visit stays live and he doesn't lose his points, bakermaker has now got to respond. And the shoe is on the other foot now. Bakermaker trailing by 31 points. Oh, that was risky. But in it goes. Now, what do you do here? He's needing the carom. Does he play a risky shot? Or does he play safe to keep his points? This is the one that could go wrong. And he's missed. So now we await the response of Bakermaker. He's not got an easy starter. A force follow. Well, he played the pot. That at least gets him off and running. But can he make inroads into this deficit? Well, it's a different kettle of fish once you're actually playing in a tournament situation. Because Bakermaker's probably gone into the match thinking, you know, he's favourite. And he's probably not scored as heavily as you would in a good day. But now's the time to do it. Got to respond when you're under pressure. Hold it together. And it needs a good one in this one ball. And that was asking too much. So Jose, well, he would like to pot the 3, but he's going to carom the 5, so he's going to have to make do with the 1. Because that would take him over the 90 if he pots the 3 and caroms. Well, he's got a big target to hit. I don't know whether he can get a force follow in the 3. I think he can. He's not looking at that too much at all. I think he can get the force follow to that 3. And he's potted a 1. So now Jose is on 90. Bakermaker looking for the carom off the rail. This needs to work. It's still a big target to play the carom from the 1 to the 3 and the 5. He's played that well, but he's still, again, it's another tough shot to keep this visit going. And he's managed to just clip the edge. He's hanging in. And Jose has gone out of sequence. And he's lost the plot again. He's now back in 87. You ever get the impression that Jose doesn't want to win this? I'm beginning to feel that. Especially after that fiasco in that previous rack. Well, believe it or not, Bakermaker has the chance to get to 90 here if he can keep this visit going. Banks the 1, cue ball needs to keep going. Well, he's going to have to stun this hard. Has he got a pot? Yes, he has. Just kill the 1 ball and leave the carom from the 3 to the 5. As long as the 5 ball keeps going, he's still got the pot. And of course the 5 ball is giving him all these chunks of 5 points, which is handy to eat into the score quicker. And that's going to take him to 82. Well, pot the 5, get out into the middle of the table, and you've got the easy 5-1 carom. Well, if he stops the cue ball there, he's got the easy 3-5 carom. Got to be careful with this though. Just a gentle one. And now he's got to kill the cue ball. Don't risk any caroms to get to 90 with this pot in the 3. And in it goes. And now he's out of line. Needs another good one. And of course he's close to the rail, which limits what he can do here. He could, that's too risky going off the left side of the 5. Trying to come across, it looks good. Very nice shot. And he could go, the shot I always love playing is inside off that edge of the 1 around the angles and down there. He hasn't got the pace to make it to the 3. And Jose can't pot the 3, it's not easy. Can he squeeze the 1 past the 5? Well, that is tight, so it's going to be a thin edge with inside right. And he's missed it. Well, he can clip off the 5, side rail into the 1. Oh, he's missed it. And Jose's got a fairly easy starter from 1 to the 5. Of course, what am I thinking about? He's only an 87, he needs to pot the 3. Now, has he left himself a shot? Well, when he plays this shot, the force follow, the 3 might kick the 5 away. Oh, he just made it. Just made it and no more. So now it's anybody's match. There is the long force follow from the 1 to the 3. Not easy to pick that line. And he's got it. Now, the 2-in-1 shot off the 5, side rail to the 1. If you miss the 1, good chance of hitting the 3. And he's put too much on it. And missed both. So 1 point in it. Jose's run ends at 5. Bakermaker has an easy 1-5 to follow. And probably can go 5-1 if he gets the spin right here. Just missed it. Well, this is an ugly table. Cut the 5 to the top rail, try and come back across to the 1. And that will do. And I think, provided he doesn't pot the 1, he's got to be careful with that he can stun across to the 5. No, he's going forward. And he's missed it. And that 1 and 3 are going to be set up. And so the match on a knife edge, Bakermaker with a 2-point lead, and that's a clever shot. But the 1 ball is now almost out the game where it's sitting. Risky. to play a carom to the 1. And almost got the 2 and 1 again there. But another easy starter this time for Jose. 3 points in it. And that was the right pace, just to try and keep them gathered. A little soft draw. Oh dear, Jose, you've got to play the shot. And that was a howling error there. And these points should all have been his. And look at the 1 now. If bakermaker can get these 3 caroms and get himself decent on the 1, this match may well be over. He's still in good shape here, but he has to get good on the 1. It's difficult because it's close to the pocket to have a shot to get out off that 1 unless you're straight in. So nothing's guaranteed yet. And now he's blocked himself out. Needs to get that thin edge off the rail into the 3. And, well, that has worked out extremely nice indeed. Well, I don't think he realises in 100. He's looking to play the 3-5 there. Now he realises it. Well, this is just a tiny feather for the match. And that's about the best place you could ever finish to get that scratch in the 1. Couldn't have worked out better. And bakermaker has somehow pulled through in a match that ended up going either way. And Jose having a brain failure with ball in hand, but he somehow still won the rack. But bakermaker wins by 3 racks to 2. Let's have a look at the bracket. And we will see that is about to update. Jose will move across to the 1 loss side. And bakermaker will move through to play 9ball.com. It will certainly not be in the next couple of days because I'm knackered. I'm working tomorrow, working Monday, all at 2 AM in the morning. I'm out my bed, so that ain't going to be happening until I'm semi-conscious. That's taking a bloody while to update. There we go. So bakermaker is to play 9ball.com. Romario's match with Amy, she didn't turn up. And Romario is through to play Acero. Now that will be a good match because Romario, whatever his faults, he's pretty good at Cowboy. He likes the caroms, and it will be a good match between them two. Bearing in mind Acero's in Japan, so there's a big time gap between the two of them, about 8 hours. Acero is ahead of the UK. We've got Vinces through to round 4. And back here we've got Zach scheduled to play Interchange X, and that will be, when's that? Tomorrow. Tomorrow at 2 PM my time. Well, I may well have that match tomorrow, guys, depending on how I finish at work. I might be able to get home and have that match. So until we meet again, thanks for your company, thanks for joining, and I will wish you a good night. I've got half an hour and I'm off to bed, and I will see you again soon. Take care.